Hello and welcome back to Building a Nation in Iceland here on Football Manager 2023. We are in charge of UMF Selfoss. We are in the Premier Division of Iceland. We got promoted from the First Division in our first season in charge. And let's see how we did in Season 2 of this save. And as you can see, a trophy was won, but which one was it? As ever, we start with the ins, the transfers ins and the transfers out. Talk about anybody of note, really. And as you can see, we did quite a lot of business in the window. We tried to bring in as many players as we could of good quality in particular, so that we could have options on and off the bench as well. So we've got to run through just a few of these guys. I won't take up too much of your time here. We brought in Heidenson, a 38-year-old winger from IR. He's also a coach at the club as well. If we have a look at his coaching stats, whatever it is, there it is. They're not the best, but we also can't really hire the best at this moment in time, so we'll take that. He's a good player. The pace is gone. He's 38 years old. Give him a break. 5 caps for Iceland, but he's been a solid player. He can pretty much play wherever we need him to as well. As you can see, he can play all across the midfield. He's been invaluable for us this season. Baldur Hannes Stephenson came in from Protur as well, from 28 appearances this year for us. A centre back. Not the best player, but we've been playing him in midfield. Let's be honest, he's centre back, but he's more suited to midfield. There's not a lot to him, but he's also, in my opinion, anyway, other than his dribbling, which is absolutely horrendous, he's okay. Like, his physicals are pretty good, which at this sort of level, having good physicals is always a really good thing. His mentals are okay for the level as well. He's very much a placeholder until we can get better, but he's done the job. Musa Sangara came in from Norgeland, and he has only played a few games. He came in late in the season. A 21-year-old winger, possibly could be Gary Martin's replacement if Gary Martin doesn't work out going forward. Good dribbling, good crossing, good pace, decent mentals. First touch is pretty good as well. He's just a decent little option on that left-hand side. Runolfsson came in from HK. He didn't really do much. I had hopes for this guy because he could play midfield and he could play up front, but he only played 9 games for us, so you know, whatever. Ronald Padilla came in. We actually spent money on this guy, £1.9 thousand. The Salvadoran international. He's losing it a little bit. I mean, he's only 27, but he's got the basics of defending down. Good heading, marking, tackling, decent determination, decisions and concentration. He's aggressive, he's decently quick as well. He's been a good player for us this season. We have Paulson, who came in from IA, one of my favourite signings of the season because he says he's a full back, but we've been playing this guy at defensive midfield for most of the season, and as you can see, he pretty much ticks a lot of the boxes, especially replacing Maciek, who's left in the previous year. Christopher Conradson from Stjarnan, 21 appearances. His average rating's quite low, but I thought he was quite effective when we used him. He can play on the right or he can play on the left of the attacking midfield position, which is what we use both of, and he's been just pretty solid across the board. 25, not much room to improve, I don't think, but there might be a little bit of improvement. Dalgar Ostman came in from Leikner. Again, just a good rotation option. He did start a lot of games because we could also play this guy kind of anywhere. I mean, if you look at this is ridiculous. He can play left back, centre back, right back, all of the midfield, all of the attacking options. He can even do a job up front if we really need him to as well. And then the last person that came in was Gudmundsson from Kordinger. 28 appearances, 6.81 rating. A good option again to have. He's just been a solid centre back for us. He's played most of our games this season. He can play full back, he can play centre back. It's just good to have people who can do these different things. And then Fridriksson, we talked about in the last episode. He is obviously just a backup option for now. I know I said we might start him, we didn't need to. And Haldorsson, not that one, is coming from KR, who is pretty good. The haircut's terrible, but you know, he's pretty good. He's actually wanted by some decent sides as well, so we might have something on our hands here. In terms of the transfers out, the ones that you knew about largely, and Elton. Now Elton's interesting because you have no idea who he is, but we brought Elton in because he's a good player. I mean, these are good stats for a striker. If you look at a poacher, which is what we typically play, he's a very decent player. 39 years old, we bought him at 38. He just never played, because I'll show you why he never played, because we had an option up front this year, but he just never really played for us. And as we can see, if we look at the table, I don't know how on earth we've managed to do this, but we won the league. We won the Icelandic Premier Division in our first attempt at it. It's our second season in the game, and it's the club's first ever title. So well done, UMF Selfoss, champions of Iceland. We had 14 wins in 22 games, 5 draws and 3 defeats. A goal difference of 14, mighty as you would expect. But as you can see, we had a really good start to the year. We lost to Keflavik early on and had this draw against Breidablik, but we didn't have a bit of a wobble until the end of the year. A loss to FH and a draw to Valor, who actually got relegated, by the way. And then we sort of stumbled here. So they had these 3 1-1 draws, and then we lost to KR. KR, who were right behind us. This game against KR on the 30th of September got changed 3 times because of a waterlogged pitch at KR. 3 times this got moved, and the league, this was a title decider. If we won that game, we would have won the league. We lost to a 94th minute goal, a free kick that hit the bar and came off, and it was rebounded in. Infuriating. But we did then follow up with a 2-0 win against IBV to win the league as KR dropped points, and KR must have lost again in the last game of the season because they finished in 38 points when they were only 2 behind us at one stage. But yeah, league champions. Don't know how we did it. I'll show you the tactic in a moment, but good for us. In the Icelandic League Cup, we got knocked out. We did actually start really well, and then we lost to KR, and then that pretty much eliminated us. So, you know, it's the League Cup, nobody really cares. And in the Icelandic Cup, we got to the semi-finals before losing to Vikingar 2-1 in the semi-finals. A good run to the semi-finals though, and considering they only wanted us to be competitive, we will take that. And the interesting screens of the finance, 208 shirts have been sold, so that's always nice. And as you can see, they're all green bars here. Everything's gone up. Broadcast revenue as well as here. Sponsorship's gone up, and we are still a 2-star reputation club. And if we have a little look at the manager timeline for this season, if we do this, so now we can actually see this a bit more. So we can skip to 2023, and as you can see here, we're going to make our UEFA Champions League debut this year. We've topped the charts with goal scorer. We'll talk about his boy in a minute. And yeah, Premier Division champions. And as you can see, it is the club's highest ever performance in the league. I mean, they've only been in the league 3 times, it looks like, and they've won it on the first go around with us. It's been a superb season, spearheaded by this man. So Gudmundur Turfingsson, I think that's how you pronounce his surname. Last year we played this guy in midfield, so we typically played him here, and he was really good at running forward, and he had a pretty decent year last year as well. 3 goals but no assists. And then this year we've started playing him up front in the cup. So in the League Cup you can play 5 games right at the start. It's basically pre-season, and then you play your friendlies. So we played this guy up front, and he was scoring goals quite a bit. So it was like, okay, well, give this guy a shot. I mean, 18 non-competitive goals this season. So 15 non-competitive goals. And yeah, he's just worked his magic. He's just scored goals for fun. 18 goals in 22 games. His contract expires in 23 days, and he doesn't want to renew it. That's the bad part. Other players who contributed this season a lot were Gary Martin, the 32-year-old Englishman, again playing largely on his left wing as an inside forward. 5 goals, 7 assists. Pretty good stuff from the veteran. He's probably got 1 more year in him, I think, and then his contract will run out anyway, and we'll probably let him go at that point. Cesar Orne Hardarson as well, 6 goals this season. He didn't play as much near the end of the year, but this guy's pretty promising. He's 17 years old. If he can work on his off the ball, I think we'll have a pretty good player, and his composure needs to go up as well, you know. But he didn't play much. He played a lot in the cup, and then we kind of used him in the league, but we couldn't really take off Gudmundur for a lot of the season, so he kind of lost his opportunities. John Vigner Pettersson as well, a superb season, 6 assists, 5 goals in the league, 7.31 average rating, and again is out of contract at the end of the year and doesn't at the moment want to sign a new one. But it has been a solid season overall from us. If you look at the assists, Gonzalo Zamorano with 3. I just don't quite understand this guy. Like, I feel like he should be a lot better than he is, and his contract expires at the end of the year, and he will be leaving the club. And in terms of the average rating, is there anybody we've not mentioned? Ruan had another really good season for us. He's just a solid player. I really wish we could start getting these attributes to go up, but because we're currently a semi-pro side, we cannot get more training done. On the finances, it is miserable. Don't look at the finances. Please ignore the finances. Ignore the finances. But we have £385,000 to spend this season, and we've got a few grand in wage budget. And once we lose some players this year as well, we will have money to play with. So if we do end up losing some of our key players, we can hopefully bring in good quality. In terms of the club vision, the club plan is to build a new stadium, which is good because we're actually not playing in our home stadium this season. We'll talk about that in a moment as well. But the board are happy with the season. The supporters are happy, except for the fact we didn't play direct football. Guys, we played possession-based football and we won the league. Who cares how we do it? And we're doing it in a more exciting way. I don't understand why they're wanting us to play direct football. Like, you boring bastards. In the club info, still a semi-professional side, which is annoying, but hopefully that will be getting changed over the next year or so. And this year we have been playing away from home as well. So we've been using Stjarnan's stadium this year, which we have been selling out quite well, but I suppose a lot of these teams play in, the same sort of area of the country, but we'll hopefully be able to build our new stadium at some point in the future so we can actually make money off of games. In terms of transfers coming in, there's nothing planned as of yet because we had no money. We'll hopefully be building, as I said, a pretty good squad. And the Icelandic Premier Division has unfortunately fallen quite drastically from 62nd to 71st, which is good though, because I want to be the one who brings this league up as much as possible. So the fact that the other teams have tanked it already, dropping 11 places, means that we can come in and kick butt. In terms of the tactic, because I know a lot of people like to see tactics on this game and what you run with, we're still running with the 4-3-3, or however you want to call this shape we play with, and it's pretty much the same as last season. What I mainly do, so we have a shorter passing game with slightly higher tempo, and I will sort of gauge how the first half an hour of a game goes. If we're in control but we're not hitting much shots, I'll start putting shoot on sight on. I'll up the tempo. If we're winning the game, I will start slowing the game down. So I will slow the tempo down, bring the passing directness down, play out the defence, walk the ball into the box, play for set pieces. When it gets near the end of the game, we will time wasting, and time wasting in this game is hilarious. If you haven't done it, please time waste. My goalkeeper took 1 minute and 20 seconds of game time to take a goal kick and a win. It was beautiful. On the in transition page, the only thing I've really changed is I've made it slow pace down rather than distribute quickly from the goalkeeper, but we will hold our shape if we're winning the game as well, because we don't want to tire players out, especially as a semi-pro side. And we've kept this pretty much the same. We've got a mid block up front, a standard defensive line, but we do drop off a little more, and we still try and trap teams to come inside so we don't have to deal with balls into the box as often. And again, when we're winning, we'll push these down sometimes as the game goes on. When we're losing, we'll push everything up and we'll start getting stuck in as well. But if we quickly run through our inbox in case we miss anything. So the supporter profile update, I mentioned this in the last episode. I never clicked through my inbox because if I did, you would have seen this page. I know. So this shows the changes overall. So the season ticket holders have gone to 403. Our social media followers have gone up by 5,000. And the hardcores have dropped, but the core and fair weather fans are creeping up. See? Glory hunters. They're only here when we win. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. The club vision for next season is just to attempt to avoid relegation, so we'll accept that. Obviously, the dynamics, everybody loves us at the moment. Team meeting, hate doing those, but we'll do that later on. I've just got an achievement for total support. I'm pretty sure I've already had that. And we're on an end of season break, and as you can see, Big Goodmunder with the Golden Boot Award for an unbelievable season. 5 ahead of Good Johnson, 6 ahead of Magnuson. He has dominated goal scoring charts, and he'll probably not be playing for us next season, which is annoying. I never showed the youth candidates last year. I'll be honest, I completely forgot to do so, but it wasn't the best intake this year either. We have Kristen Johannesson, a left back who he could be decent, but he's got low determination. He's not the quickest already, and again, as a semi-pro team, we just can't really improve these guys. We've got Arnarthor Ingvarsson as well, a right midfielder who again, he could be okay. He's unambitious though. That's the problem. Antonsen, unambitious. Maybe our head of youth development is a waste of time, possibly. No, he's balanced personality. Balanced personality, our new head of youth development, so yeah, that's a bit annoying. And if we quickly look at ourselves, we're actually wanted by Valur to be manager, which that would be an interesting save to take on one of the biggest teams in the country who've been relegated to the second tier, but we're not going to Valur, obviously. We're in the contract for another year. I fully expect to get a new contract offer shortly, and as you can see, attributes wise, we're starting to slowly improve. I've not been able to get a second coaching badge as of yet, which is a little bit annoying, but we'll get that eventually. But as you can see, good win percentage of 56% after 2 seasons. We are getting better, the club is getting better, and we've got some Champions League football to look forward to next season, which that's going to be exciting. But otherwise, that's pretty much going to be it for this episode today. Hopefully you've enjoyed that. Hopefully you're similarly happy that we have won the league, and God help us for the next season, because we've got a lot of players out. This squad is huge because I can't send players to my youth team for some reason. I don't know why. I'll figure that out. But the squad is huge, but we've got a lot of players out of contract, and it's a lot of good players as well. So we're going to have a battle on our hands next season to put something together, but we do have money to spend, so hopefully we can do something exciting in the transfer window. But if you've enjoyed that, please do drop a like on the video. Please do hit that subscribe button as well. I'm recording this pretty early. By the time this comes out, I think the beta might have actually almost ended, but again, I'm recording these in advance, so apologies if you commented on the first episode or of the season 1 episode and you asked a question. There will be an answer in the comments, but you won't get the answer in the videos for a few weeks at least, most likely. So if you want to see any players, I do apologise. I might send screenshots in the comments. or something like that. But thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next Friday at 1 PM for Season 3. Goodbye.